10 roll through my hands, I'm by my lonely. Turned to a savage, now my baby wants to hold me. I love my fans, don't need no friends, I got my homies. Thought I could trust you, I find out you tried to zone me. I'm number one up on that court, I'm Nick McGrady. The first one in, the last one out, can't call me lazy. Put in my hours, send the invoice and they pay me. I need 6 rings like MJ and Tom Brady. I wake up, flex, thumb down now, check, no drip this, tell them run it up. No sleep, no rest, might crash, might wreck, but first I stretch, tell them run it up. I wake up, flex, thumb down now, check, no drip this, tell them run it up. No sleep, no rest, might crash, might wreck, but first I stretch, tell them run it up. Y'all gon' make me take that trip way out to Europe. I call up Nigeria, come through in a hurry. Those London boys don't come to play, you should get worried. One false move, find yourself, they're getting buried. That's what the devil used to love playing those games. Made some bad decisions that brought my mama pain. I made a promise to her, swore that I would change. I'm on the come up, bet I live up to my name. I wake up, flex, thumb down now, check, no drip this, tell them run it up. No sleep, no rest, might crash, might wreck, but first I stretch, tell them run it up. I wake up, flex, thumb down now, check, no drip this, tell them run it up. No sleep, no rest, might crash, might wreck, but first I stretch, tell them run it up.
Boy, I know no hesitation creeping in, but you look so good and I know what you're offering. Phone's lighting up, but I'm just gonna let it ring. Yeah, my phone's lighting up, but I'm just gonna let it ring. Is it the liquor in my system? My desires are so real, got me caught up in this rhythm. Draw me in, make me feel.
Good morning all. Yes, sir. Hope everyone is well. Hope everyone is good. Happy today is Tuesday. Let's get it. Let's get it. See where all systems go. Everything looks good. Morning to all. All right. Let's have a look at the charts, guys. A lot has happened. When did we last speak? We last spoke on Thursday. So a lot has happened since Thursday. We had a lot of upside movement last week due to specific factors, actually including the yen, right? So that's actually including the yen. And then we had job market as well, right? So we saw NFP numbers come back. We traded NFP live. It was very fun. NFP numbers coming back weaker, which is leading the Fed to hold interest rates. So that actually, or reduce them, not reduce them, I feel, but definitely hold them, which is bullish for price. So today, though, it is a clean day on Tuesday. A bit of AUD news, but I don't trade the AUD. A little bit of ADP. ADP used to be important, but this is the weekly. This is something new that's been added, right? This is not the normal ADP. This is the weekly ADP. So not that much of a big figure that we need to do, but cool to look at because it can help us with NFP. The big day is tomorrow, CPI day, inflation. They're expecting inflation to lower, well, with escalation in the Middle East and no resolution in Hormuz, that is threatening this. So I think we're seeing a bit of a sell-off at the moment. Asian session did a very good upside. Now, if we start from daily on gold here, we can see that daily time frame has been pushing bullish. No problems with bullish pressure on gold here, being pushing towards the upside. And we rejected now into this previous daily. So we tapped into this previous daily here on basically the 17th of June. We came back to it yesterday. We struggled a bit there, and then we pushed through on yesterday's candle. And then now we've tapped this next daily here. We're getting a rejection from there. 4-hour candle closing doji from that zone, and now leading to a big bottom wick on this candle here, potentially coming back into this previous 4 hours. So we are mixed session bias. This is a nicer pullback that we have now, a lot more range to trade towards the upside. I wouldn't mind it to complete the move and actually come back and retest the 4 hour before looking for upside. But any types of changes of structure here, leaving this high, we could try some upside. If today wants to pick the downside, if we're starting to price in inflation coming back higher, we will start to tip price towards the downside, and we could see CPI retrace a big part of this move. So if that's going to be the case, then we can look for more downside today, and I would still expect this to be a lower high. So we could take the buys up, which could lead into sells. So I'm not expecting a full reversal. We'll have to see how price wants to act, because since basically NYSE session yesterday, we picked a low. This is NYSE low here, and from that low we have been making higher lows, trending even in Asia session. Just now pre-London, we've changed this trend towards the downside because we reach our higher time frame target of DR. So it's pretty normal when that happens. Now we're changing structure towards the downside. This could end up doing this. We could come back towards these lows, but we could take buys back up here because we have massive range. And if there's no ways to take buys, if it happens very aggressively, we wait patiently for the sells, which could come later. So that's kind of like the plan I'm looking for based on today on gold's analysis of the two potential outcomes. Whichever one happens, I'll be able to capitalize on, unless there's no entries that follow my plan. Now, if we're looking at DAX here in the meantime, wow, that's really choppy right there. Let's check daily time frame here. Stuck at daily resistance, failed to close above. We are closing bearish, but not the strongest bearish candle close. 4 hour time frame is showing some bullish pressure. We can move this one up to here like this. A little bit of a very messy range here. I don't like the way that we're forming this range. Yeah, it looks very messy to me. So mixed session bias, and obviously as we come on lower time frame, we're starting to consolidate in here. That daily resistance still there. We actually have a new daily resistance as well. Yeah, this is just shit ton of lines, man. I hate when there's so many lines. It's disgusting. 30-minute there. So we don't need to mark this because it's not something I would trade. So I'm going to mark this into the 15. I'm not trading in the middle of that range. If we break out towards the upside, we break out into daily resistance. A little bit tough. The downside makes more sense, but we're probably looking for below this box. So we're going to wait for the open here. And actually the downside here is not that bad. If we can get below here, we can open up some of this range and we can actually retrace from that daily resistance, maybe back down into this 4-hour support zone or something, and then look for potential buys later. Now NASDAQ, will we see a similar case? Yeah, pretty much almost a similar case, already breaking down on NASDAQ. Let's go back to the daily though and have a look at this from the daily. We are rejecting from a major zone. This is a major zone on NASDAQ, heavy 4-hour resistance. We spoke about this yesterday when we were trading live. We did a bit of a more in-depth analysis, but what we basically said is that we are trading from a very heavy zone here. Price has been failing from a lot of the time from this zone. If you go on your futures chart and check 4 hours, you'll be able to see it daily. We can see it here. This is a zone that price does not like. We just keep rejecting from this zone. 4 hour is now trying to hold it. It's trying its best. At the moment, we're coming back down to retest. We could see buys back up during this session, no problem. But this zone here, at the top end of this zone, very difficult to buy. Now, we are leading into a mixed session bias here. I would say the majority of the sells are now starting to play out. We're just about to tap this 4-hour support here, which is this yellow line. If we get below it, we can open the door to a little bit more sells. This is just a tough zone to sell right at here. I actually want to see how that looks on futures, that zone that we're sitting at. On 4 hour, that zone is, yeah, we have the 4-hour support a little bit lower on futures. Let's go bring that. So we could definitely start to bounce into some buys from there. So a little bit lower on futures. We actually close below. We have the same 15 here. This is a 15. This is the daily open gap. So I'd say, and that's the same 15 support we have on futures as well. And then the 4-hour support just below that tough zone here. I really prefer if we can pull back here and we take sells from this retest here. I'd love to see a little bit of a retest entry here. Bam. I don't really want to sell the lows at the moment. I rather see if we can get back up to take a sell. That would be a lot better in my opinion. So let's see how that forms. If we can pull back, then I'll try sell back into here. Otherwise, we could definitely bounce out of here, no doubt. Same thing on DAX here, right? Same movement. We're literally moving the same on DAX. Just tested into that daily open price, bouncing off the daily open. Gold now finally making its way back down to test the 4-hour. This is nice because if we set up from buys from here, it's a great place to bounce. Great place to bounce. So let's see how this forms here. We're going to keep an eye on NASDAQ as well. NASDAQ trying to push down through this level. We'll see if we can get some 5-minute structure. If today's going to push down heavy, I still need to see 5-minute structure. Because this 50-minute candle here, very heavy 50-minute candle, 59 points. We have a 29-point range. So if this is going to push down, then I kind of feel like this is trying to set up for buys later in the session. Because we're pushing down very aggressively. So that's normally how it ends up happening, is that we set up for buys a bit later. So let's see what happens here. We'll keep an eye on everything. And then yeah, we'll see what we can do. So let's see gold. Beautiful LTA on gold. Very clean candles here. So if we need to let this cook, first 15-minute candle won't probably be enough. We need to let it cook, make some changes of structure, etc. And then we'll see how we can capitalize off that. And then yeah, that is the analysis. So if you guys enjoyed the analysis, you know the drill. Leave a like on the stream, I would appreciate it. Get the likes up to 50 likes would be nice. If not, everyone is sleeping. Do the YouTube business. You know the game. Let's see how many likes we get. We're at 25 now. 128 people here. Let's see if we get to 50 likes. If not, everyone is sleeping. Everyone is sleeping. And if you don't press the like, you will be forever unprofitable. We'll start threatening people now.
Whoa.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm not
exactly. We go hard. So yeah, let's see if we do bounce for it. I'm not playing like that. Exactly. Today we go hard. So you're looking for longs? Potentially. We need to see what market, but I don't mind to take longs on gold, but not in this type of momentum here. I need to see momentum shift, but if it does shift, I take longs. For me to take sells at the lows here, sells are done for the majority of the session. If sells are going to happen, they're going to happen sometime later. Selling right at this support here, right into a 4 hour, worst place to sell. You know, even though today could just melt, but that's not my problem. Right? I rather see it pull back. Even if it pulls back, I'll take more sells. But I could trade that pullback as well, because I have a daily candle supporting my upside idea. Could you check NQ? Rewind the stream. We just did a full analysis on NQ. All right. So we can see the reaction starting at the 4 hour. Doesn't mean it's going to bounce from here immediately. We could get below it again. Give it some time to cook. 9 minutes until this candle closes bullish. For me, one bullish candle not going to be enough here. Probably want to see a bullish candle plus a break of this 5-minute structure here. Futures way lower. Yeah, futures will have its 4 hour lower, but what we want to see is there that 15-minute structure there on future? That's what matters. Are we tapping into the 15-minute structure? And yes, we are.
Yeah, it is. Same as your hourlies as well.
Exactly. Yeah, so even if the 4 hour is lower, as long as it's tapping something, we can still use the same concept. Because it's okay if it wants to come lower, it's not a problem, but we just need to be tapping something.
Harry, I've been seeing your Instagram stories there. What's that little it's not kite surfing, it's the fuck, what's that called?
Yeah, wake surfing.
Wake surfing.
Yeah, you basically catch the wake of a boat. So you have a special boat, it makes a wake, and you can surf the wake of the boat.
Holy demure.
It's pretty cool.
How niche.
Yeah,
How niche.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Have you tried wake skating? Yeah, I've done wake skating, wakeboarding, water skiing, mono skiing.
Hey.
Yeah.
How greedy. How greedy.
I would say yeah. I'd say wake surfing is harder than wakeboarding because you have to stay in a pocket. Like wakeboard, you have the rope, so you're just holding the rope. I would say freestyle in wake surfing can get more complicated because you have to pass the bar behind your back. It's like kite surfing actually. Wake surfing and kite surfing are very similar in freestyle aspect. But I would say in wake surfing, like to learn wake surfing, it's very hard because unless you understand to get a feeling of how it is to sit in the pocket of the wave, you just keep losing the wave. But when you start, you get a rope. So with the rope, it's very easy. You just, like, even for me, like when you get up on your feet, you start with a rope. Pulls you up and then you throw the rope. My friend of mine used to have a lake. That's ideal, man. Can have a lot of fun. Yeah, wake skating is fun. Did you used to wear Vans and wake skate? Get your Vans wet. Of course, yeah, that's the way. Regular jean shorts? Yeah, man. That's the style. I used to wake surf in just like a white t-shirt, White Hurley t-shirt. Legendary status. It wasn't a big sport of mine, but one of my family members used to work in one of the hotels here, and they used to have a water sports section. So one of the perks at working at the hotel as staff is you get to use their water sports. So I definitely abuse that perk. All right, so we're seeing the reaction here. We're seeing the reaction. We're seeing the reaction. Shout out from Sydney. Let's go, bro. Winter time in Sydney now. Winter time. Australia's opposite. Looks like DAX is gonna pump today. Let's see what DAX is doing. Yeah, what a reaction from the same zone. NASDAQ also reacting. We spoke about that. I would expect this to be short-lived, but that's a very fast reaction. Gold is in a nice zone though. Sydney here as well. Beautiful place. Yes, sir. We have a few Australians here. In the group, we have a few Australians. Sydney here, do nice. Shout out from Byron Bay. Man, Byron Bay is a great surfing spot. Byron Bay is a great surfing spot. Adelaide Pies are better. Uh-oh. South Africa here, also a great. Let's see how gold forms from this zone. 2 minutes now from the 15. We're gonna have a first 15-minute candle closing potentially bullish here. We have no breaks of 5-minute structure, so I don't know if I'm ready just yet to rip it off just one 15-minute candle closing bullish. I don't think for me that's enough after such a big push like this. Gonna need to see something a little. Look, we don't even have 1 minute structure, so I'm not convinced yet. This could do one more liquidity grab. Maybe once we start leaving here, I'll become more convinced, but for now, this is not too convincing just yet. But if we do liquidity grab first, meaning we make a bottom wick, break the low, then break the higher, it does convince me, because why should we need to break the high again if we want to go down? Like, it would make no sense. How do you see NAS? I find it's making more difficult to sell. Yeah, NAS needs time because now we have no ranges. We have no structure for buys, no structure for sells. You know, it's very difficult sitting at different 4-hour zones, and it's very difficult. So we just needed to settle down. It came down. We said that this would be a little bit sketchy. It was sketchy. So now either it needs to come all the way back up, start to create range to sell, or this is going to make a support, then we close below later. We're rejecting strong zones. So NAS needs time. I would say gold right now potentially has the cleanest range, right? We have a lot of clean area on gold. So if gold can just pick a direction today, and if it picks it towards the upside, it will be quite nice. Even if it's just a pullback to continue down, it doesn't matter. We can trade both. We can catch the pullback up, sell the downside. Only bad thing today would be if it continues to sell today, it's a little bit tricky. We might have to force a trade below here. Very difficult to take that type of trade, but it might be the only thing we can do. And of course, if it just ranges here. If it ranges here, pretty boring. Yeah, not closing the strongest here, this 15. So we're not convinced just yet. We might have to sell below here. Let's see how the 1 hour looks. Yeah, it's not the best to sell, man. Don't really think we can sell. Too much BS here. Not enough range from here to here. I mean, it's 19 points. I mean, poof. We could play some crazy tight price action. We'll see what we're forced to do. At the moment, we are creating some form of rejection. Let's see. You know, price action this summer hasn't been bad, guys. We've really been capitalizing this summer's price action. Just between London and NYSE session, even we have basically everyone in the community, like everyone, depends on your availability, but every session has been delivering. Sometimes there's slower sessions, but that's markets. But if you're someone who likes to trade later in the evening, Power Hour been delivering amazing. We call it Power 2. We have a webinar about Power now. We call it Power 2 because of the way it moves. If you want to trade Asian session, Asian been delivering. London session, consistent. We normally get a London period where it's just disgusting. But I think with the new developments I've made on the strategy, the way that I'm able to read markets better now, not really read markets better. I've always had like good analysis, but it improves with time, obviously. You just get better and better at the skill because I'm always a student of the market. And I think having that mindset has allowed me to excel and to be one of the guys who have lasted super long, you know. NYC last night, yeah, NYC last night was pretty slow last night, yeah, but overall NYC still is giving options. So, yeah. Oh, what a read. You mean London session? That was London session. Yeah, basically yesterday London session I called candle by candle. That was pretty fun. So we saw yesterday it was more impulsive, right? We saw yesterday was more of an impulsive market. Today's not looking as impulsive in my opinion, but if it is going to be impulsive, I will be a little bit more impulsive based on yesterday's data. But yeah, overall good. For summer, normally it's sometimes we have very slow periods, and that's completely normal, and that's where you test your skill of preserving capital, how to preserve capital. But that's mainly if you can only trade one session as a main thing. If you can trade 2 sessions all year round, you should be able to have some sort of consistency. There'll be times where the market tests you, but if you know what to do, it's easy to get out of. Nothing is linear, right? And this is a concept I love to explain, and I explain it a lot of times. NASDAQ is a very good investment tool. Let's look at the S&P. The S&P is supposed to be the safest investment tool. If we go on the weekly time frame, I want everyone to listen on YouTube here. If we go on the weekly time frame of S&P, this is where people make millions of dollars because they just invest in the long term. Let's look at the journey of S&P. Okay, let's have a look at the journey of S&P. So let's say you start off your year here. This is your beginning of the year, right here. So you start off the year, maybe, you know, you had a good end of the year and you start to make profit. First 2 months go really well. It's going well for you the first 2 months, right? And it's feeling good and you're trading well. And then bam, You make a couple of mistakes, you have a bit of a FOMO day, and you basically bring yourself back to the beginning of the year. You started the year here, and after a couple of months, you're back to where you started. Then you're like, that was stupid, that's stupid, I've done this mistake before, but you have the right people, and you were able to gather yourself, and you focus on staying with the plan, and now you stay with the plan, and you start to get back on your feet again. It's not linear. You have days you lose, you have days you gain, days you lose, and you make your way towards the upside. Then you end up in a bit of a break-even stage. Very normal. Market's a little bit tricky. You find you win one, you lose one, you win one, but you're still much better than when you started the year. You get impatient in that break-even stage because you want to grow your account. You want to pass your funded. You want to get more payouts. Maybe you took a payout here, you took a payout here, and you want more because you're like, okay, I've made my first couple of $1,000s in the market. Now I want to make my first 10,000. And you push too hard, or you get bored, maybe because you're not risking enough. You haven't made 1,000, you haven't made 500, and you're like, I need to do something. Or you're risking $1, $2, and it's not satisfying you. And bam, shit hits the fan. You start FOMO trading, bad habits come back, and not only do you reverse where you started, you are now worse than where you were in the beginning of the year. You've taken yourself completely backwards, and now we're 50% during the year. So we're halfway through the year and you've absolutely reversed yourself. This is the point where most people have two choices. Choice number one is they let this continue to go downhill. They change strategy, they waste time, and they start all over again. Option number two is you realize that, hey, I'm in a very, very specific cycle that traders go through, and I have two choices. I either get someone to hold me accountable and I lock in and I stay in an environment that's going to force me to better myself. There's no way I can fail because I'm already fucked myself. Sorry for my bad language, but I've already done that. I've already lost all my progress, but I've proven to myself that I can do something. So if I've lost all my progress, I need to now have the ability, and it's so hard at the time, guys. Me explaining this to you now, it's so easy. But in this time, the last thing you can think about here is what is the path to get back into profits, because everything is negative. Your account is down, you're worse than before, and it feels like shit because the minute you started to have a touch of success in trading, it's taken from you. And the point that people don't realize is this is where your biggest growth comes from, because this is where it really tests whatever have I learned, am I able to come back to it? Because this was not bullshit here. So this is where you have to regain yourself. And if you do, if you have the right support circle, the right people to speak to, the right system, the right strategy, the right trading sessions, the right accountability, the right budgeting, meaning you haven't blowed your life savings like a dumbass, then what's going to happen? You're going to bounce back from this as hard as possible. You're going to bounce back so hard that you're not only going to recover your losses, but you're going to make it back to where you were. Okay? And once you make it back to where you were, now you get into a rhythm because you've essentially cracked a code. And this is when people talk about an aha moment. That is your aha moment, because now you've realized, you know what? I've been smashed to the floor. In my journey, I've been smashed to the floor so many times, right? All the time I've been smashed to the floor. But the minute that you can take yourself from down here back to where you were, you're always one step ahead now. Because it's like snakes and ladders. The objective is to win the game and get to the top of the map. But that doesn't mean you won't encounter a snake. Everyone just wants ladders in life. Everyone wants the easy path. In trading, no one's handing fucking envelopes. This is a skill that demands real skill, demands patience, demands, because to be able to get money from a click of a button in the internet, if it was that easy, everyone would be good at it. And people love to sell the idea that they are good at it, so online they act like a bunch of baboons selling to freaking idiots and ruining other people's journeys because they sell them bullshit, because they rather sell the idea than actually sell the skill. Why? Because they are worthless in their life to actually do the hard shit and get what they want. So once you recover your journey, and I'm telling you, I have had multiple cases of people do this. Multiple cases. I'm not speaking of my experience, I'm speaking about others. I've seen this pattern again. You reach a new high again. Now look, you started the year here, you're all the way up here at the end of the year, and you said, you know what, this was a rough year, I'm knackered, I was down on my account, but you know what, at the end of the year it's not as much as I would have wanted, but look how much I've done, look at the progress. If I just had more accounts, funded accounts, more capital, this would have been worth a lot of money. So now you start to increase risk, and when you increase risk again, you start off the year and you go all the way back to where you were halfway last year, right? You come all the way back to here and you're like, again, bro, I was up and now I'm back to where I was a year ago, because now you're halfway through the year. You were increasing risk, your understanding got less. Again, you've been here before. Lock in. You locked in, bam, your biggest increase. Markets were pumping, everything was going well. Now look what happened the next time. The next time, instead of drawdown, you had range. And this is how my journey works. Instead of me losing money back to back, when something becomes difficult in the journey, I preserve my progress. So instead of my journey, and my journey still looks like this, but instead of it looking like this, it'll have mostly a bit of pause, then continue, a bit of pause, then continue. And this is how a trader's journey works. And guess what? We replicate the freaking market. If the market itself, and this is supposed to be the most consistent investment tool in the whole world, the S&P, right? If the S&P has to go through this much periods of drawdown, why would a trader's journey be any easier when we are doing a skill that pays us what the S&P makes on average per year, 9 to 10%? We can make that in a month. How would our journeys be any less difficult and have any less drawdown? So whatever you're going through is completely normal, as long as you know what to do with it at the time, right? Super important. Super important. Anyways, I hope that helped. Right, I always show this example, but sometimes it's good to just go over it again. Right? Sometimes it's good to go over it again. Trust me, you get to a stage in your trading where you look at it and you're like, bro, this is easy. Trading's easy. With a system, with guidance, to follow a system. The main thing is just have a system. That's it. Just have a system. That's all I tell you guys. I don't care whose system you use, just have a system, guys. Have a system, trust that system, stick to it. Everything will change in your journey. One system. Then let everything fall into place. Because you will not trade exactly like the person that teaches you to trade. You will trade similar, but you need to be able to view the market. The market has to go into your head. You have to understand what is happening. Remember, we are humans, we're not robots. We're blessed heavily. We have creativity. We have ideas. We have ability to share emotion. That is what makes every one of us unique. And that's what gives each one of us an edge in a market that can't be replicated by everyone else. So you either choose to become that person that's able to do that, or you don't. And it's that simple. Intuition and instinct. Yeah, but intuition and instinct comes from experience. You don't just show up to the chart and have that. So it's actually just experience. Experience, lessons, repetition. So NASDAQ here, not really doing much on NASDAQ. We're just chopping about, coming up and down, up and down. Gold is trying to cook. So let's see if gold wants to continue towards the upside. We would love to see this 30-minute close a bit stronger than this. This is the 1 hour close as well. It's a good 1 hour close in terms of where we're respecting for buys, but not in terms of the close. Very bearish close. But this is London open. This candle means nothing, right? It's just a doji candle. So like I said, we might need some time to cook. 15 minutes after London, stuff like that, we can start to get some good moves and it will start to choose direction. If it closes below here, we might be forced to sell, but I'd rather not do that. This is not bad now. We're trying to get a bit of volume here. 30-minute is looking a little bit more lively here. 15-minute looking a little bit more lively. If we can just break some 5-minute structure would be great. Let's see the bottom wicks as well. If we can liquidity grab very good bottom wick, then we could probably take this. Maybe breaking this high. Where is that high? Yeah, up there. So let's see what we do, because we don't want to get stuck in the range. This is the range. Check 1 minute. This is a range. We don't want to get stuck in here. We definitely need the 1 hour to make a bottom wick as well. Prove to us it wants to go up. 30-minute has a support now. 15-minute time frame has 2 candles. So it's starting to form something good. We just need the liquidity grab. Thanks for subscribing. Yeah, if you guys haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure to leave a subscribe on the channel. Would appreciate it. Join the streams Tuesday and Thursday. Rest of the streams in the exclusive group. Leave a like at the stream while you're at it. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you for showing up. Taking your time out of your day to spend your morning with me. Much appreciated. Nighttime, whatever time it is for you. Afternoon in Australia. Well, actually evening now. It's evening. No, it's afternoon, right? Depends where in Australia, I guess. All right, nice. So let's see if we can go down now, start to grab some liquidity. Get out this range. We need it. This is choppy. 8 a.m. London. Yep. 5 p.m. Yeah, exactly. Late afternoon. Evening, basically. If we can get a 5-minute close below here, we could also take some sells on NASDAQ. I am keeping my eye out for that. We've had very bearish session. So I wouldn't mind a close below here, and then we can look for some sells down. A little bit of a breakout sell. We have now 1 hour candle closing bearish. We would break the 1 hour candle low. 30-minute time frame closing bearish. 15-minute time frame closing bearish. 5-minute structure created. So we have a lot of confirmation in terms of that. We would just need volume of continuation. But I like how we've gone up, retested. So if we're going to have volume, bam, should be able to close below and continue down. We'll see if it happens now in this candle or not. If not, maybe next 5-minute candle. Also, gold now going for the retest we talked about. Check 15-minute time frame. You see, we said we needed some liquidity now, so we're going to grab liquidity. This is what we want to see. Do you trade Asian session? No, not myself. Asian session, we do have Asian session. A lot of the guys traded in the group. They took a win this morning. Buy, so we do have live session. That's at, if you look at the time here, maybe it's too small. Oh, if I highlight in it, it shows you. But Asian session for me in my time zone is 3, as you can see there, 3:42 a.m. is what time our Zoom link gets sent. So 3:42 a bit too late or early, whatever you want to call it. So I actually trade NYSE session, New York Stock Exchange, London session. Those are my main sessions. But we have sessions and we have Power Hour in the group people trade. We have Asian session, London session. Yeah, I would say the group is almost 24 hours now in terms of people trading. So it just depends on your schedule, you know. All right, so we've got the liquidity now. Now we need to start leaving this range towards the upside. 5 minute would have closed bearish here. So now we just need to see some volume come in. Remember, this is the worst case scenario is we just range. So we need to see some volume come in towards the upside. This is where I would consider to enter impulsively. This is kind of like NASDAQ yesterday, where we ranged. If we do one more liquidity grab, especially down to here, and then we suddenly reject, I think we send impulsively. NASDAQ also trying to make a decision if we want to close below here. It's trying to test it now. About 3 minutes for this candle to close, so hopefully we can survive 3 minutes. Sometimes what happens is when you're trading and you have a specific strategy, you have to wait for your rules. And sometimes the chart will just do what you wanted it to do, like push in this zone, and you will not get an entry because there's 3 minutes. That doesn't mean you should FOMO into the market. It's quite the opposite. That's randomness, because you don't know the outcome of that, because you don't have the confirmations. So if you start trying to jump in stuff that's random because you don't know what's going to happen, that's where you likely lose, because either it starts to reject like this or something happens. So maybe once or twice you see it play out, but long term you'll find out that you just have to let it do its thing, and don't feel FOMO that that move went without you, because it was randomness. It was not something that you know, followed your plan. There was a great investor, and you know, he always said, like, I'm not gonna swing my bat at every ball. I'm gonna wait for the perfect delivery, then take my shot. And that's what made me successful. And it really means the same thing. And because he was getting pressure from his clients, because like people who run hedge funds, they have clients who invest, and for 6 months he was not taking any positions. So imagine you invested 20-30 billion dollars, and for 6 months it's just been sitting there, no increase in you know, losing money from inflation, right? It's losing money from inflation and it's been sitting there for 6 months. You're going to start asking, like, hey, what are you doing? Well, he later went on in the next 6 months to make the best returns of hedge funds for that financial year. And that's when I forgot his name. Left my head, but I'll check it afterwards. Good morning, doctor. How are you? Very good, patient. How are you? Roleplay? No, no. Relax, relax, relax. Valentino Rossi. Valentino Rossi is called the doctor. All right, we don't like to see. I can't speak. We don't seem to like this zone here. We keep rejecting. 28 seconds. Will we close below or above? In case it starts to get a bit hyper, I'm gonna be ready. All right, so it looks like we're waiting for the next candle here. Gold is not doing anything. I have it on my second monitor. Is it best time to trade your setups? Asia opening 2 hours, London 1 hour pre, 2 hours. Whoa, bro, that's too much text. Just trade sessions. That's when my setups play out the best. Just don't trade random times, trade sessions. Asia session, London session, New York session, NYSE. You have 4 chances during the day. If you don't have time during any of those sessions, then don't trade. Like, unless you work 24 hours a day, like if you work 24 hours a day, you can't trade anyways. Like my setups work in every session. You don't have to have a specific session. We also have the 15-minute candle close coming with this. Would be beautiful if we could close below with everything. 15-minute candle close, 5-minute candle close all together. If not, we're going to be rejecting here. Gold is ranging. We talked about the possibility of this. Bit of a boring outcome for it to be that outcome, but let's wait. We could pick up some volume soon. If this 15-minute break structure towards the downside, it's a bad sign for buys, right? Doesn't help our buys. We want to see this close weak. If this can close weak, give us a better chance. So this next 2 minutes here is going to be very important, because if we break structure, meaning a candle closes below here, it's going to change a lot. If we can close weak like this, that would look very good actually. Gold setup 5 can be a nice option. Yeah, anything like that would be great. Even if we close bearish and the next one above, that would also be good. But in order for us to enter impulsively, we're gonna need to see rejection. So see this 5 here, we're reacting exactly off that box. So this next 1 minute needs to do some business. Break out of its range. Needs to show us buyers come back into control. You see how important this zone is now? We can see how this zone is acting. So this is where the buyers and sellers fight. At the moment, the chart doesn't know what it wants to do. So this next 1 minute candle now it's its job, this one here, yeah. So now it's its job to see, can we respect this zone now? Or does it fail? And then we're gonna get the candle to close below. If the candle closes below, means that still buyers and sellers are fighting. Price is at equilibrium, means we have equal buyers, equal sellers. No direction is picked. Once we break below here, this is where we can get traps, right? We can get a trap of everyone jump into sell, snaps back, because we've not picked a direction for today. 26 seconds, we have to see, where does it pick? Does it respect the box now, or are we gonna close back inside? That will lead the 15-minute candle here. So it's tight. You'd want to see the last 10 seconds for it to pop up here if you want to be a buyer. Right, look, it failed, came back in the range. Bam. So now we're closing below. No direction picked. Right, we're back inside of that 1 minute now. Low volume. So we need to see price pick up volume. It's cooking for something. All my pattern traders, you know, you have your descending highs here. We have a low. You know, it's getting tighter. At some point, there'll be a resolution. Question is, does it trap? Are we going to trap or are we going to actually push? Without candle closes, we can't take the sell because I don't want to be caught in the trap. If it does trap, I will take a buy. And I'll probably buy above this high here. Like so, if I start to see it trap, I'll do some magic. See how DAX is doing here as well. Yeah, still stuck in the range. We're trying to reject these lows here. So if we can get a 15-minute candle doing some business, maybe we have some opportunities on DAX. So yeah. I just wish it did this before London session so we don't have to watch it, because it's a little bit boring to watch, but we can't do anything about it. We can't do anything about it. But this is necessary in a market because the more it ranges, the bigger the move is going to be. Get an explosive move at some point. What I want to check is, you see this low, we had a liquidity grab here. This low was lower than the last low, but I want to double check on futures now if that same pattern is there, or have we not grabbed liquidity yet on futures? Yeah, we have. I wouldn't mind one more. I really wouldn't mind one more. One more would be pretty good. Give us a spring. Give us a nice spring. If we check NASDAQ here, NASDAQ still struggling to close below here. So we got a 15-minute bullish actually, rejecting this zone. But I still feel if we can get a 5-minute candle close below here, we should get a move. So I'm still considering to take that. Break even at the 1 hour support or something. So we'll see here, 1 minute 22 seconds for this candle. Can it do it? I'm not sure in this candle, but maybe the next. It's trying now, so Let's see. Needs to do some work these last 20 seconds. We need some pretty heavy movement here. Not looking like it wants to do it just yet. Yeah, so market's a bit ranging here in London Open. So we have to be patient here. Remember, don't get pissed at the markets, because sometimes in these conditions you can get one candle that just takes up your range, but that's not your move. And if you try to chase those moves, you're chasing randomness. Because if you did that, then why did this candle not go? It wasn't ready. Right? Because that's exactly what happened here. If you wanted to go impulsive, you should have took it, but now it put you in drawdown. So don't trade with that mindset. Right? Don't trade with that mindset. So look, we have that 5 minute on gold. Nice. Look, retested my box exactly here. So now we have the liquidity grab. Let's see if gold can flip here. Do we have bottom wick on broker? Let me check. We don't have a bottom wick here. No bottom wick on broker. A tiny one. So I feel like we need a bottom wick. So let's see if we can start to break structure, because we're heading down at the moment. Now, if we're going to see a pop, ideally 15-minute close would be very nice here. But let's see how we form. 5-minute close, something. We just need volume to come back. Not very confident for what? I appreciate everyone showing up, spending this time with me. Pleasure to have you guys on stream. Let's get it. Thank you, Mirko. Thank you. On that 5-minute confirmation of a sell, is one selling into a 1 hour put you off? Or, you know, that should be the non-confirmation. Look at the bigger picture. You're selling right at a 1 hour. Two minutes for NASDAQ, guys. NASDAQ could have the breakout move here. Let's see. Last 2 minutes. We've tried for the last maybe 15-20 minutes to break this zone. Remember, it could impulsively break and go without us. That is a total possibility in the market, and something that does not faze me. So make sure to plan. If you have plan of a different way to get in, do it. Let's see, I think this is, oh, we didn't get a 1 minute candle close below, huh? Still no 1 minute candle close below. Very interesting. So there's actually no theoretical way to enter this with proper confirmation. Unless in about 15 seconds, if even you get a 1 minute and you go very aggressive, but not in this session. Depends on how we close. We'll see. we close like this, that is not a confidence selling candle there. So we have to wait for the 5-minute candle close, which is going to come now in 1 minute. And this is why I wait for candle close, because if I entered impulsively, I'm in drawdown and I'm like, please close below, don't reject. And now look what's happening to me. You see? That's why I told you I was completely not bothered if it flew without me, because every trade has an opposite side. And my strategy has specific rules for specific reasons. Because I don't want to be in a trade where I immediately get it held into drawdown and have no confirmation that this should play out. Because I don't have confirmation. Nothing is closing below. So I have to just beg and guess. So let's see, 9 seconds, will it close below? Possible. Let's see, 5. We'll be ready in case it wants to break the low after closing below. Oh, wow. I don't know, man. That's sketchy. I need to check on broker. I don't know if that's a close. I don't know. I don't think so, but yeah, that's not a close for me. That's still respecting. Let's check on futures. Futures, it's a close below. Wow, what a complex close below. Good top wick. Can we excuse this? What is gold doing? Yep, futures did. This is a great top wick. I kind of feel like if we flip now on nasdaq, that should be it.
Would you take it on a flip? Or
yeah, in this case, probably below the 1 minute low. Should be like somewhere here. You know what I'm gonna do, guys? I'm gonna wait for a 1 minute candle closing below this zone. That's gonna be the way that I will be able to enter this. Just as an extra confirmation, because it's a bit sketchy to me. Otherwise, because this rejected very quickly. Showed me that buyers came from this zone. So I don't want to get stuck in the range and just enter on the flip here, for example. And all that this ends up happening is that it's a retest and then flies. And then I'm straight to stop loss. At least if I have a confirmation, it's going to be better. So we'll wait for that. Gold is moving. Let's have a look at gold. Here we go, gold. Spoke about the upside now. Do we have a bottom wick on this candle? Gold is cooking now. This is the last 5 minutes of the 15. It's getting exciting. Getting exciting. Last 5 minutes of the 15. Will we close this 15 bullish? Let me check the bottom wicks. Yeah, we do have a bottom wick on broker. So let's see. Last 2 minutes. Can we close the 15 above? That'll be easy trade. If not, we need to find a different way in. This is a good sign. We spoke about the liquidity grab, candle by candle. Let's mark these highs. Let's see what these highs are, right? Let's go in 1 minute, see where these highs are. 5 minute. It's not really ideal where these highs are at the moment. It's because it's at the top of the range. But this will be the 30-minute candle close. We could have a setup 3 on 30. This next 2 minutes are going to be important. If the 30 breaks structure, we're in the same freaking boat again. We're in the same boat as the 15, right? We remember what happened with the 15 here. Broke the structure. Hard to enter impulsively. If we can close with a little bit of pressure now in the last 2 minutes, that should give us some more confirmation. We have liquidity grabs, confirmations, all of that jazz. Let's see what type of stop loss we would have to run. Pretty big stop loss, 70 points. But we have range. Might take some time. Can the 30-minute do it? We'll see. Last 1 minute candle. We're trying, but we just can't. There's not enough volume. 5 minutes rejecting now. We still can't get above this zone here and hold above it. Every time we try, we reject. That demands patience. Man, we are stuck. And this is the problem right now. Look, 5 minute is about to close weak. 15 minute is failed to close bullish. 30 minute is failing to close above. And we are back into the same zone. So now we must, again, this session is just lacking the volume. At some point it will come in. When, we don't know. So we need to see some sort of confirmation. At least a 5 minute candle closing bullish above structure. Same thing on NAS. Sellers are failing. We are ranging. We don't have buyer pressure. We don't have seller pressure. See what DAX is doing. DAX is not bad. It's at least moving in one direction, but not heavy moves. We don't have range, right? Gold is trying to look a little bit more bearish at the moment now. Starting to see it. Starting to make lower highs. We're failing to make those higher highs that we need to see to be a buyer. And remember, we spoke about this exact liquidity grab. We said this is going to be the trap. But there's not even enough volume after the trap, showing me we're in a bit of a dead market. So we have to wait here. Because this could double trap now. Gold could be nasty and trap one more time. A little bit lower. If not, it's probably going to go for the sell. But the problem is we don't have range for the sell. Because we have a 1 hour sitting right here. Bam! Look at that reaction. Wow. There's definitely buyers here. But are they going to be enough to get out the range, or are we going to go deeper? That's why I'm not taking a buy from down here, right? Because we might go deeper right now. We don't know. Will we finally get the 5 minute candle close above here? Let's see. Gold is wicking orders out. Yeah, we are absolutely killing the analysis here. We are keeping safe. We are calling candle by candle. We're talking about the range. This is full in control trading right now. It's exactly how we want to be. Not taking random positions. Me, 5 years ago, I would have lost so much money here. Taking sells, break of low, got stopped out. Then I would have felt FOMO. I would have taken a buy on the flip of this candle, thinking that the buys are going to play out. Many times I would have tried to take a sell there. Oh, we've been ranging, sell the breakout. Today, I'm able to call this as a trap, just based on the system that I have. System, bias, put everything together, you get answers. This is what we want to see. Guys, also make sure to join the free Telegram. I'm making updates in there all the time. What trades I'm taking and why, stuff like that. We cooked in NFP. I posted a free analysis of NFP in there about the outcomes, what's more likely, what's unlikely, blah 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 blah. So check it out, join it. It should help you guys. I don't stream every day, so it's just nice to keep in the loop of things. You can also keep in the loop on my Instagram. which is Trade Shark. Depends which one you like. But Telegram I can post, oops, more detail. Let me just post that in the chat. You made a new video last weekend? Yeah, I did. I want to show you the NFP analysis, because the NFP analysis was pretty cool. Let's see the NFP analysis. So I put it like this, quite nice analysis here. Gold breakdown, speaking about the jobs, where gold is sitting, where we could push, right? Strong NFP, so weak NFP, we probably gonna come off the table. 2080 resistance will be, gets tested and likely broken, and that's exactly where we flew. We're at the 300s now. Then this was at NFP, we took the NFP trade itself, which was fun. Alright, still 5-minute failing here. This is a test of patience. At some point we're going to make a decision of what direction we want to go. This is usually where I set alerts and I go probably eat food. That sounds like a better idea. Look at NASDAQ, failed. So we kept safe. Man, strategy kept us safe. We weren't taking early sells. Remember what I talked about impulsively? No one listened to me on that. I told you guys, this is why I wait for close and I didn't enter impulsively, because if I had FOMO and I'm like, it's been ranging and I'm gonna miss the move, bam, I press sell right here, straight to my stop loss. So that's why I sat there and I told you, if I see this play out, it's not gonna annoy me, because I know the opposite side of this. Because unfortunately I've been there once too many times. And I've lost way too much money than I should have from being stupid like that. So I had to learn the hard way, and I'm trying to give you guys some tips. Alright, gold. Are you gonna pick up volume now? 10 minutes for the 15 candle. All we need is to see a 5-minute break this structure and we're starting to create the upside pressure. Bro, we have CPI tomorrow. We're going to do another CPI gamble. Top Step has banned CPI gambles, but I will be trading CPI. We did NFP. We did NFP. Full send NFP. We did full send on NFP. You can still do gold. Yeah, it's not that good on gold. NASDAQ is the one. I don't know if I'll stream it though. I'll be live, but I don't know if I'll stream it. We'll see. I might open some Lucid accounts today. Lucid. I think you can pass them on single trade. We'll do that tomorrow. How many people would show up to CPI stream? Last time I streamed CPI, no one showed up. 35% consistency? No, I think they have one step, no? We're gonna check it.
That is their one step.
Is it?
Yeah, I believe it's 35.
No, this guy Swift is saying you can pass Lucid Pros on a single trade.
Oh no, sorry. That's their 1-day pass accounts, but when you're funded, it is 35% consistency.
Oh no, yeah. No, I'm talking about the 1-day pass accounts. I'm gonna send it.
Yeah.
Oh, I opened Lucid Motors. Well, first let's go to Lucid Funded. Once Lucid Funded pay me the money, I'll buy from Lucid Motors. Okay? But they look like shit cars anyways. Just saying.
Honestly, Harry just sent like 20 Apex accounts.
Apex is like a boring consistency. But on
Yeah,
the
I mean,
on the pro, once you're funded, you have a consistency rule, right?
Yeah, that's same as Lucid as well. Apex is 50% consistency.
Yeah, that's
It's not bad.
40%.
It's okay.
You just have to make a lot of money on your first trade, then you can have easy consistency. Only 5 payouts and they move you to live. I will try it. How much are they?
They're
How much
so
is
cheap,
the 50
bro.
Pro? They don't say. Harry, on Lucid, you can pass and request a payout as well on the same day or just pass in a single day. Brother, do I look like I have Lucid written on my head? Am I Lucid sponsorship? Can you see on my shirt it says Lucid? I'm in same boat as you, brother. I trade on Top Step. I'm not represented. Do you see Lucid on my shirt? Does it say Lucid funded? Are they paying me money? No. They ain't paying me shit. I'm in the same boat as you, my friend. Hey Harry, what's the biggest difference between Vantage and FTMO? The biggest difference is one, believe it or not, is a prop firm and one is a broker. Dun dun dun. That is the biggest difference. One is a broker. Exactly, bro. That is the biggest difference. The one is a broker and one is a prop firm. Okay, I'm getting cooked here from boredom. Price is about to tap the 1 hour. We are trying to break down, but this could reject again. I'm sleeping, bro. I can't sell into a 1 hour. If it closes below the 1 hour, I can start to take sells. But until then, good night. No thank you. Pretty damn boring. So, like I said, it was looking a little bit bearish. We never were able to close above this 5. We were never able to close above this 5. We failed. So that's why it held us down and sells became more likely. Now it doesn't mean it's going to melt to the floor. That's the only problem we have right now. It could do, but it's not necessarily the case. Why? We're being guarded by a little 1 hour here and we never closed the previous one below. So I don't think it's going to be that simple. If it is, then the volume is going to come in and this is going to be, you'll have to gamble selling into the 1 hour. I don't really want to gamble selling into the 1 hour. I'd prefer to see this 15-minute reject or I take sells on a lower high. Nasdaq, same plan is applying. Same plan applies. Looks like market is pretty slow before CPI. No CPI hype. So tomorrow's CPI day should be exciting, man. I'm looking forward for CPI day. Full hardcore trading day. Trade before CPI, trade during CPI, trade after CPI. Go big or go home tomorrow. So looking forward to that. But look, appreciate you guys showing up on stream today. I think there'll be some trades, but they might come a bit later. I don't want to just hang around for too long right now. But yeah, I feel like there'll be some good options come out in a little bit. Just need to wait till we can have some clarity of direction, good structure, and then we can look to take those positions. So appreciate you all. Much love. Catch you guys on Thursday, hopefully. Make sure to subscribe to the channel so you know when I go live. Take care. See you guys hopefully soon. Peace. We'll be live in the group Monday to Friday. So cheers, guys. Take care.